The vagus nerve is the longest cranial nerve, but I'm putting up a 2 because it's actually second longest nerve in the body, you guys. So it's not the longest, that would be the sciatic nerve. But why are we talking about the vagus nerve? And why is there so much research on the vagus nerve and stimulating the vagus nerve, having it function properly to alleviate a world of issues? Well, this is not just any nerve. This nerve originates in the brainstem and it travels down and it innervates or promotes nerve supply, supplies a nervous system signal, we could say, to all of your visceral organs. Pretty much all of them. We're talking things like your lungs, your heart, your intestines, etc. And so it's no surprise that the vagus nerve is well known for affecting, say, something like digestion, right? As it accounts for 75% of your parasympathetic nervous system activity. We know our parasympathetic nervous system is that portion of the autonomic nervous system, of course, the other being sympathetic, responsible for resting and digesting. And so if you can stimulate the vagus nerve, you can relax. And we'll tell you how to stimulate it right away, here in a second. But what's very fascinating, what I want to talk about today, is the fact that the vagus nerve indirectly impacts your gut microbiome. Indirectly impacts your gut microbiome. Well, how the hell is that? Well, it's by regulating things like inflammation, immune function, gut motility, and gut barrier integrity. Namely, those 4 things, among others. And the vagus nerve serves a wide array of purposes and functions in the body. But this is what we're going to kind of focus on today. So, if that's the case, and why is it important to affect the gut microbiome? Well, we know our gut bacteria, guys, our enteric nervous system, that nervous system that's in the gut, it communicates with the brain, there and back. And so it can affect your mood. It can affect your appetite, fat storage, metabolism, rates of muscle growth, immune function, allergies, hypersensitivity, all that kind of stuff, right? So pretty much everything, pretty much everything. You think of the gut, it's really important, all right? So how do we stimulate this vagus nerve? And how do we do it right away? Well, the fastest, most effective way to stimulate the vagus nerve would be to take a breath in. I say big breath and then I should be sitting Indian style right now, I feel like. Breathe out slow, right? So you breathe out a lot longer than you breathe in. And that will immediately stimulate the vagus nerve. And I'm telling you, it will help to relax you right away. That's 1. 2 is hormesis. And what is hormesis? Before we even go further into this, right? Never say words without explaining them. So hormesis says a low dose of, and I'll say this slow, this is important, a low dose of a healthy form of stress serves a stimulatory or beneficial effect. And a high dose of even a healthy form of stress, because too much of anything isn't good, right, serves an inhibitory or harmful effect. So some examples of healthy stress, aka hormesis, would be temperature regulation. Say exposing yourself to really hot, going in a sauna, then going and taking a cold shower, right? Your shower's hot, then you turn it cold. You get an ice bath. Changing the temperature like that, exposing your body to some drastically cold temperature, hot temperature for a short period of time. So don't go burning yourself or getting hypothermia, right? But those are some ways. Exercise and intermittent fasting would be 2 other fantastic ways to naturally promote hormesis. But again, you don't want to overdo anything, right? Because if you get too far into it, it could have a negative effect, actually, right? So we don't want that, just the right amount. Okay, so we have breathing. We have things like exercise and fasting and cold showers and ice baths and sauna and, hot showers, whatever. I just like to reiterate it so you guys remember. Also massaging certain parts of your body, right? Namely up here. So rubbing your eyes will stimulate the vagus nerve, all right? So we got 3 things so far. Tragus massage, which is interesting. So tragus, if you guys are curious, is right here on the ear. This kind of little flap you can pull on the inside part towards the face, and you can rub on that. You might look like a weirdo, but it could stimulate the vagus nerve. So rub it. You don't have to rub it really hard. Relatively gentle tragus massage. is another way. Carotid massage would be another. Massaging right around here in the neck. Putting ice on the neck would be another. Laughter would be another, baby. That's a great one. We should all be laughing a whole lot more. Hopefully we make you laugh sometimes here at When Wellness, if it ain't too serious, right? So laughter. Vibration, interestingly, things like humming and gargling. Like if you gargle loud, whatever, bad gargle. That's better. Gargling, right? Humming. Like a freak, loud, for 10 minutes. Apparently, according to a cardiologist, MD, right? He says that will stimulate the vagus nerve. I don't know exactly how long for all the other ones. You guys can look into it. But really interesting stuff. It is worth looking at a lot of these problems in your body in terms of correcting the system in simple, natural ways, right? Before you go diving into all these medications and surgery and all this crazy stuff, obviously nutrition, lifestyle, exercise, getting more sleep, being less stressed, all whole food from nature. Obviously that's super, super important. But you can do things that are hacks that, you probably had no idea about, or maybe did or maybe you didn't. And one of them is stimulating the vagus nerve. And it controls so much in your body. He was talking about this same MD. He was talking about somebody that had these gallbladder issues, right? And, if you have gallstones, like you have to get them removed, obviously they have to, if you have cancer or something, it's different. But had all these issues after eating, especially fatty meals, high-fat meals, right, which is pretty typical. Gallbladder could refer to the right shoulder, could the discomfort, right? And we're not diagnosing anybody, see your doctor, anything like that. But her problems went away. It was like, try this for a month. She stimulated the vagus nerve, took some herbal preparation, and then boom, it was gone. Supraventricular tachycardia. The hell is that? Supra, right? It's above. Ventricular, ventricle, right, in the heart. Tachycardia is fast heartbeat, right? Bradycardia would be slow. So correcting the pace at which the heart is beating. Sometimes it beats irregularly, and we call this arrhythmias. And people can get palpitations, right? This and that. But stimulating the vagus nerve did well for that, right? And he's seen this time and time again, and there are a decent amount of scholarly articles that back stimulation of the vagus nerve for so many different things. It's like weird. It's actually amazing, So I know a chiropractor who actually stopped being a chiropractor and he devoted his life to studying the vagus nerve. You devote your life to studying the human body, that's really complicated. You could spend your whole life trying to figure out exactly how and why the human body does everything and everything in it, and you might be unsuccessful. Right? It's extremely complex. Yet simple, because it follows the rules of nature, right? But, that's a lot. Just studying one nerve, doesn't that say so much if you devote your life to that? So, that's what we got for you guys. Go stimulate that vagus nerve, baby! Probably not by yelling, either by gargling, or humming, or exercising, or, doing all this other stuff, like getting in a sauna, or cold shower, or, whatever it is. Hormesis, right, is like we said, is a really good way. And the breathing, don't forget the breathing. The breathing is the simplest way. And if you guys are late to the party, again, you breathe in, big breath, and then breathe out really slow for a long time, longer than that. Who do we got on here? Say what's up. Bro, I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Ben. So glad, man. You're a beast. You're crushing it. In terms of health, in terms of physique, in terms of everything, man. Performance, I really mean that. And it's awesome to see. Danny Kip, what's up? I love you, dude. Mick. Yeah, dude. It's so true, Ben. It's really amazing. Oh, headaches, Mumbo. Where are you located? It's good, prognosis typically with the chiropractic care. Sibia, what's up? Paul, how you doing? Gab, how are you, my dear? Gabrielle, thank you for coming on. Melanie, what's up? Reza, Carr, JRK, Dave, what's up? How you doing, Beast? Mr. Biblo in the hizzle. Kennedy, XS, Dave, we were talking about this the other day. You got your private one moments pretty much. Laguna, I don't think I talked about all this, but there you go. And Brand the Man. As for now, that's all we got for you, folks. We'll see you tomorrow, baby. Not sure where, not sure when, but we'll see you then. Have a great rest of your night. Thank you very much. Happy Friday. Happy When Wellness. See ya.